It's day 3 of a 14-day rifle season. But it's day 17 of the hunt. This is the 17th day that I've spent here in Quigley. Now, and I have not fired a shot. I have not fired the first shot. I could have already got my limit of 2 bucks several times. And I could have got a limit of 2 pretty good bucks. But I elected to pass on them. I don't really need the meat. I don't reckon I need anything, but I enjoy the hunt, so I decided I'd just wait and see if I could find a better one. Well, I did. I finally found a buck that I wanted. I've seen him twice. He hadn't given me a shot. He's been chasing does both times. And he won't stop. He's at a run or a real fast trot. Or a run. He's all over the place, zigzagging around. He come in the other day, there was actually 6 bucks. There comes the buck right now. There's a buck right now. There were 6 bucks and some does. He come running through like a cutting horse. Or like a bowling ball, scattering bowling pins. They were all over the place. Deer running all over the place. He singled him out, I reckon, a hot doe, cut her out of the bunch, and drove her plumb out of the country. Both times he's been flying around. There's a buck over there right now. Gracious. Let me get the spot to go out and look at him. There's the first buck of the day. Second deer, first buck of the day. I passed on that buck there a couple of times. Pass on him again, I reckon. But just to make sure, I'll get the spot scope out here and take a close look at him. He's a 6-pointer. Far cry from what I'm looking for, so he can go ahead. He's with a little doe over there, so they can do whatever it is they're going to do. Well, so far, today has been somewhat of a bummer. I have seen a couple of bucks, but nothing that I really wanted to take. They're small bucks. And a doe. I've only seen one doe. I haven't even seen Whitey, baby sister, and mom this morning, which is unusual. Those 3 usually here in the fields all the time. But yesterday morning, during this same major sowing period yesterday morning, it was a hub of activity, you might say. There were 6 or 7 bucks running around, and doe or 2 or 3 or whatever, and the big bucket of them was hoping to come by. Did. And he scattered those other bucks and does like crazy. Like I said, he went in there and like a bowling ball, knocking bowling pins everywhere. He went down through there scattering deer everywhere. And cut him out one and left. Cut him out doe and drove her out of here. He never gave me a shot. I mean, he just running helter-skelter, just all over the place. And he wasn't out, but just the total time was just seconds. It was probably less than a minute. The total time that well, I'm sure it was less than a minute. And he also come by the evening before, just it got too dark to see the shoot, and virtually did the same thing. He had deer running all over the place on the same ridge. He was here yesterday morning and the evening before. And today, nothing. Well, not him anyway. I haven't seen nothing. There was a doe and a couple of bucks, but it was slow compared to what it had been. So it's time to take my own advice. People, the number one thing, the most important thing, the ingredient that you can put into your deer hunt to give you a measure of success is time. You can have food plots and sowing appearance in your favor and everything else, but you need time. Time is the most important ingredient. If you spend enough time out there, you and the deer that you're wanting are going to cross paths. It's just going to happen. There's so many people, they go out like on opening day, and they don't get one. Or their confidence level goes down. Well, they go back the next day and they don't get one, and their confidence level going down. They go back the next day and don't get one, and they bottom out. You get very discouraged. So the simple fact of the matter is, mathematically now, if you go out and on the first day you score, your chances of that happening are kind of low. But the simple fact of the matter is that every time you go back in those woods, every time you go back to your deer stand, every time I come back out here just quickly, every time my chances get better. The chances of you scoring the first time are not that great. You go day number 2, your chances increase. Day number 3, your chances increase. So the more you go, odds are getting better and better in your favor, but most people don't realize that. They get more discouraged. So you don't get discouraged, you just keep going. So time, or another way to put it, patience, another way to put it is stubborn. You're just dogged stubborn. You ain't gonna give up until you and that buck come to terms. I mean, you just stay at it until it happens. Can't get any simpler than that. And then, another ingredient to a successful hunt is something really you don't have any control over at all. And luck. Everybody needs a little bit of luck. Fellow once said that he'd rather be lucky as good any day, and I reckon there's a lot of truth to that too. But anyway, if you just keep it going, one of these days, Lady Luck's going to shine down on you, and you're going to score. So now, like I said, this is my 17th day here in the Quigley. I have not fired a shot. Went all the way through the muzzleloader season, never took a shot. Now here I am the 3rd day into a 14-day rifle season. I have yet to take a shot. Not that I haven't seen bucks. I have. I could have fill my, we're allowed 2 bucks and 3 does. Of course, doe season ain't open yet, but I could have had my 2 bucks. No problem there, you know. No problem there. And could have had a couple of decent bucks, you know, pretty decent bucks. But I just elected to hold off a while. And then you start questioning yourself, you know, I mean, should you have done that? Has luck already shined on you and you ignored it? But then you say, no, you just keep on keeping on. Like that good buck. Yesterday morning and the evening before, he was here. He was here. The deer that I wanted to take, one of the buck that I wanted to take was here. But he just didn't give me a shot. He didn't give me an opportunity. But I'll just stay with it. You know, you can be looking and just empty fields, empty food plots, empty pastures, nothing there at all. And then just at the snap of a finger, in an instant, it can change. You look up and there he is. It just happens. So even though you haven't been seeing anything, maybe for hours or days, keep looking, keep trying, stay at it. Keep your nose on the grindstone, it'll happen. So I'm taking my own advice and just being downright stubborn about it. I am convinced my 2 bucks are going to show up. So I'm going to stay at it. Besides that, what else I got to do? I said that I hadn't seen Whitey and Mom, baby sister. They showed up right under the quickly. Mom's already jumped the fence. Whitey did. Baby sister trying to find her place to get in here. There you go, girl. I couldn't believe that. I hadn't seen them at all. And here they are. All of them. Right here in front of the Quigley. Probably 30 yards out, maybe. And they were right here under me before I saw them. I don't know how they got here. I'm looking all around the fields everywhere, and just all of a sudden, there they are. Lord mercy. I mean, they're right on top of it. I don't know where they came from. I really don't. I just look around, and there they are, standing right in front of me. All 3 of them. I was just saying that I hadn't seen my 3 regulars, which is Whitey, baby sister, and their mom. Hadn't seen them all day, and they live here. I mean, they're here all the time. I hadn't seen them at all. I was sitting here and had saw some movement over there next to the woods, and put spot and scope on it, and a big old fox squirrel. So I was sitting there watching all the shenanigans that he was doing. And out of the corner of my eye, I saw movement, and I looked, and those 3 deer stand practically right under quickly. How in the world did they get here across all this open field without me seeing them? I don't know. Because I'm pretty much in constant motion, looking around. You got 360 to cover here. And I'm pretty much getting my exercise just looking around. I got it, and all of a sudden there they are, right under me. I don't know how they do that. They fed around and they're still right here. Just feed right on by the Quigley. Crazy. That's little Whitey right there. Amazing. Yeah, they can appear and disappear so quick. When am I ever going to learn to take my own advice? If any of you watched any of the videos from hunting here at the Quigley, I have stressed that you have to be ready for a shot. The bucks don't live here. They cross these fields, relatively small fields. And you've got to be ready, because most of the time they give you the opportunity you have at a buck can be measured in seconds, not minutes. If you've got 2 or 3 minutes, that's a long time. Most of the time you've got way less than a minute. So you got to be constantly looking, constantly vigilant to catch that buck when he's crossing the field. If it's been a few seconds since you actually took a look at the field, there might be a deer walk crossing, you never know this there. But anyway, I'd gone back to the house and got a bite to eat and lollygagged around, visited the wife and whatever, because it's been slow. It's been terribly slow. There was no real movement. Late this morning, for hours, there's been no movement. So when I come back out here, it dead as a hammer. Saw absolutely no movement of anything anywhere. So I did not bother to get set up. By getting set up, you got to have your rifle ready. You got to have everything ready to go. I didn't. I just come out here and lollygagging around. I had absolutely nothing ready. I just had my rifle laying up here on the shooting bench. The only thing that I did, it's a little bit cool. Don't have all the windows open for a breeze blowing through, but I've got one window open, and I had my shooting bench, which is portable. I can roll it around from window to window. I did have it setting up facing the east here, which is a little bit unusual, but that's where I've seen most of the buck activity this year. That's normally not the case. Most of the time they're to the north here. And I would have my portable bench rolled over here to a north-facing window. But that big buck that I've seen lately, he's been over here on the east side. So I did have the bench, I had that window open and the bench in front of it. Had nothing else ready. Absolutely nothing ready. I did not have the rifle set up on its rest. Didn't have that at all. It's a single shot, and I did not have a couple of extra cartridges laid out here. I did not have my earmuffs ready. I had nothing ready. So, sitting here doing lollygagging around, and all of a sudden I look up and here goes a deer across the field. Now, what I think it was a buck. When I looked at it, I said, I believe that's a buck from the size of the body and the shape of the body and all that, but it did not have horns that I could readily see at 250 or a little over yards. So it was not a buck that I would want to shoot anyway. But if it had been the big boy that I've been sitting here waiting on, and he come across in that same manner, I couldn't have got him. I was not ready. When am I ever going to learn to take my own advice? Be ready. So when you go to your stand and you're out there, get everything organized. Get it all ready. Even if it's been days since you've seen anything. Don't let your guard down like I did. When you go there, get everything organized and ready. I didn't have my binoculars laying right here with me. Didn't have my spotting scope ready. Of course, I didn't have time to look at it in the spotting scope anyway. But I had nothing ready. I knew better. And I still didn't do it. Every time somebody comes out here to hunt quickly, I tell them, let's pick a window that we think the deer most likely to show up looking that direction. And if you guess right, fine. If you guess wrong, at least all you got to do is open a window and wheel the whole shooting bench over to that window. You've got everything ready. It might take you another 10, 15 seconds to get everything ready to move from one window to another. But at least it'll only take you a few seconds to get ready. I was rummaging around here, stumbling over myself. I did not get set up in time to take that deer in if I'd wanted him. Take your own advice. I need to take my own advice. Well, I'm set up now. Maybe the little buck just got me ready because that big one's going to step out here in a little while, you reckon? Could be. You never know. But at least I am set up, totally set up that direction. Well, another day is rapidly coming to a close. And so far I haven't fired a shot this season. But it only takes a second or two. So I got maybe 10, 15 more minutes of shooting light left. So I'll keep a looking. And it is the witching hour. This is prime time. You're watching a feeding area of a field. Not last night, but the night before. A big buck was running all over the place. And yesterday morning. But today, haven't seen a lot of movement at all. Two, I think maybe 3 bucks, smallish bucks. 3 or 4 does. It's been slow. And my brother and my other buddies, except for one, been slow for them too. But one guy said at 2 o'clock this afternoon said he saw the biggest buck he'd seen in 3 years. But he couldn't get a shot at it. We'll give it a few more minutes and then we're gonna close up shop and head to the house. just as I'm getting ready to leave the Quigley. 4 deer, 3 does and a buck, come right by the Quigley. Come about 30, 35 yards from the Quigley. The buck was more interested in something over here that I couldn't see than he was the 3 does that he was actually with. So he took off. I don't know what he done. He took off. But right now I can see that there's deer up there in the food plot. But it's way too dark to see to shoot now. So those deer kept me pinned up here in the Quigley for a while. I didn't want to get out and spook them, but they're over 200 yards away now, so I'll ease out of here. Be back in the morning.